Good morning guys, Chris from the Ultimate Recycler. We're down to 4 days to go. I think this is episode 45. That's my shop in the distance and it's just 8 o'clock this morning. It's a frosty cold morning. I think it was -1 when I got up, ice all over the windscreen. And for some of you guys around the world that's nothing, but it's pretty chilly here for us. But I have my sign writer here and he's going to move my signs across to Christine's shop. He's doing it as an extra service because I do get all my sign writing done through him. I think I showed a card in one of my other videos. Oh, the one where I had the van sign writing. Burge in Seymour, great guy. If you live locally, get him to do your signs. So he's at that today. He's a bit hesitant to get up on the roof for a start because it'd be like a ice skating rink. So, but he'll be here for a couple of hours to do that. And the rest of this video, we'll get back into that little shed. But I do have some bad news. Well, not super bad news in the big scheme of things, but it's bad news in that I had this cabinet sold, $750. We emptied it last night. Well, good morning, Coco. See, I told you it's cold. Coco's got a jacket on. I got a text this morning. They were supposed to be here at 8 this morning to pick it up. And the text was, sorry, we can't make it, tested positive for COVID. So what that means, I guess, is it's not meant to be for them. And well, I don't know, maybe I'm meant to keep it. I better have another chat to Christine about that. Or probably what I'll do on Facebook is make it re-available. Someone might come through on the weekend. Have a look at this area. We've cleaned up a lot in the tech room now. A lot of that still has to go home and most of that's just empty buckets. So I won't do you a full house tour at the moment, but we need to get back onto that shed today. As soon as the frost lifts. I think I need another coffee. The really great thing about a frosty morning is once it warms up a bit and the sun gets up, it's generally a beautiful day. Lovely sunny weather here. It's cool, but it's nice. What's going on over there? Looks like I've turned on my automatic cardboard mulching machine. Go get it, Coco. So she'll no doubt tear that box up. Right, what are we up to? Well, we've got into the shed a bit more. Let's have a peek in. Now, a lot of it on top was just cardboard boxes and packing supplies. I've still got to get that huge big roll of foam out. I think I'll take the first layer or two off and hopefully the rest of it's still clean enough to use. There's some more bottles in here which I haven't got to yet. These two boxes here, I remember I went to a farm clearing sale once and there was an old, very old building that was originally the generator shed for the farm. So it dated back to the early 1900s. And it was totally full of rubble. They'd obviously fossicked through it for anything of interest for the sale, and everything else just got left. And the auctioneers actually said, all right, next lot up is the contents of this old shed. And most people looked in and walked away thinking it just needed to go to the tip. I think I paid $20 for the contents of the shed and spent a whole day rummaging. A lot of old, well, these are 1970s power farming magazines. They're quite collectible. There was a lot of damaged stuff because it had been open to the weather, but look, there's some really cool old stuff here. A lot of farming, obviously farming orientated stuff. Even some radio valves. Looks like the remains of a radio battery. How cool is that? So even just for advertising, it's a great piece. I don't remember what's in the bottom, but I do remember I had a huge lot of fun that day rummaging through everything. I found a lot of tools, and this was all the paperwork which needs to go through. Obviously some of it's probably not going to be very good, but there are a lot of things that are quite saleable there, so they will have to go home to be sorted in a future time. What do we got over here? As I said, there's a few more bottles. There's an old cream can, not sure what's in that. Looks like a Black & Decker drill. More cream cans actually. Don't know what's in this box, probably just more packing materials. Yep, at least that makes it easy to get into. There's some empty boxes, so there's a few old cans of paint which probably won't be any good. I'll show you what I'm doing with the paint soon. Now, it's got quite damp in here. Again, if you're going to hoard things, and I do hesitate or I shudder a little bit when I use that H word. If you're going to hoard things, make sure that they don't get damp because it does ruin a lot of stuff. I have sat things on blocks, but this shed did flood once or twice. There's some remains of some old chairs there. They probably won't be much good. I'm not sure what's in this Texaco box. Oh, here we go. We have a plastic covered expanding curtain wire. 6 cents per foot. Well, that dates it. Pretty cool old tin. It's empty, but that's quite a saleable piece. And it looks like we have a large early 1900s cast iron saucepan I can't get out at the moment. There's various pieces of nice old timber here, including a really nice old, looks like an oak early 1900s fire fire fender. That's probably at least a $50, probably a bit more piece. And there's a story about where that came from. I'll tell you one day, perhaps when I clean it up and put it in the shop. Not going to go on about it now. A bag of just scrunched up paper. Well, at one stage I was doing a lot of eBay work, so I saved all that, but it's obviously can go in the recycle bin. Some timber bed ends, some chairs over the back, a few more boxes. Not sure if there's anything in those or not. Down here we have some nice wrought iron plant stands, I would say. They're sitting on some timber boxes. There could even be more bottles down there. And this retro stool is a Caroma stool, and I think that's I know they make reproductions now. This is an original, probably I think they were 1960s sometime. Can't quite read that. The light's not good enough. No, it does say Caroma. I can read it without the camera. I think they were late 60s, and they sell really well for people that have those old arcade games. That yellow one should probably get about $30 odd. Looks like there's a metallic trimmer in there. Horse hames, which I've pointed out once before, part of a horse harness setup. That looks like a roll of fiberglass. I don't know why I kept that. I've never done any fiberglassing. I can't even quite see over there. Don't know what's in that white plastic bag. There is a clothes dryer I've got to get out, and there's another one right here. Now they can go for scrap metal. I'm not interested at all in reselling clothes dryers at this stage, and I'm not going to scrap them out either for the motor. They just have to go. More interesting bottles in here. Clements Tonic. That's a 1920s medicine. Maybe a little bit earlier, that one. There's a stoneware lid. Some very old cutlery. There's a cream jar. A triangle-shaped or coffin-shaped poison bottle. Little cabin ink. It's so named because they look a bit like a cabin. If you do find these, they're not actually broken on the top, even though they're quite sharp. They're known as a shear top, and apparently they were just made, they were extruded or stretched from the glass mould and just snapped off, and that's how they were finished, and then they put a cork in them. Some of them are branded underneath, some of them have numbers on the sides. I've seen from anywhere from 1 right up to 8. I'm led to believe that was something to do with the type of ink they held. But yeah, they're cute little bottles, early 1900s. I'll get $5 for them. There's a few of them in here. There's another one, a little bit chippy around the top. So yeah, they're nice. So I'm not sure what will be in that bottom of that box either. This one has some boot lasts, a drill brace, some more bottles, bits and pieces. This looks like a box of tools that I've never ever got round to sorting. Can't see anything particularly good in there, but some quite old stuff. And it looks like another salter iron there. So yeah, lots of wonderful smells in here too, isn't there, Coco? Looks like some tuned table legs in there. Alright, well, we've gone on and on enough here. I better start emptying a bit more. Let's have a look at what I've got out. I've sorted all the lids. I am keeping some. They're nice early or vintage and aluminium lids to suit saucepans, billies, kettles, that sort of stuff. I found some old sewing machine drawers. They're not actually Singer ones, but those drawers will sell very well. These lids I'm keeping. These are all nice old enamel ones. So pretty hard to get some of these old lids. So they would sell even on their own, but I'll probably store them until I have a need for them. These are all tin lids, or billy lids, which is kind of rhyming slang for kids, or at least it is in Australia. I don't know if anyone else uses that. They're worth hanging on to too. These ones I'll just knock the handles off for aluminium. And these are anodised aluminium lids that suit 60s era, 60s and early 70s saucepans. I might hang on to those too. The stainless steel ones I'm putting out the front for free. These are actually magnetic, so they're not worth anything for stainless scrap. And these Pyrex glassware, baking dishes, casserole pots, they're all just lids and bases. They're no matched ones. I'll put them out the front for free. Someone might have a use for those. I've got to tell you, it's so hard not to go through these boxes while unpacking them. Look at this, Royal Auto magazine. That would have to be 50s by the look of the colour. Melbourne or North Essendon, early phone number. Should be dated, but I'm guessing, I don't know, I'd guess say 54, and that would probably suit the size of the type of the car. Let's see if they put a date in here. 58. Oh well, I was within 4 years. So there's going to be some great adverts in that. That's in pretty good condition. And have a look what else I found. Looks like a sales brochure for the Volkswagen Transporters. Split screen, earlier VW combis. Very sought after cars. And I would imagine that this brochure on eBay could bring pretty good money. Just depends how many are out there. But I'm sure a collector would love a brochure like this as a go with for their early combi van. So some nice stuff in here. Luckily those two aren't are in pretty good condition. A lot of the Power Farming magazines are quite rough. I also found this. Now someone's done a bit of cane work over a bottle, and it looks to me to be a pickles bottle. It's not the sort of top you have on a milk. And from the top I'm guessing it's probably 1940s or 50s. Now it's of no value like that. I'm going to cut the cane off and just see if the bottle has any value. Okay, let's see if there's anything underneath this caneware that is valuable in the world of bottle collecting. It's not really the right era to be worth a lot, and pickles jars themselves aren't really that collectible. Well, they are, but there's not many rare ones. They generally don't bring a lot. Some of the milks though do, but I'm sure it's not a milk from the top. Hopefully you're still in shot there. Let's see what we got. It's been wrapped up for a long time. Okay, it's probably just a clean skin. Be nice if it had an original label, but it doesn't. And there's absolutely no embossing on it. So a clean skin pickles, I would say around about 1940s. It's got a machine made top. Yeah, the seam goes through the top. So no real value. They can go in the recycle bin. There are a number of embossed ones that are quite nice. Although once you get into the 40s and 50s, they're generally plain and just had a label. If it had had a nice 50s label in good nick, it still would have been worth $10 to $20. But as it is, just recycled bin, and that can go on the fire. Worth a look though. So we might wind this video up because, as usual, I've talked a lot. It's almost lunchtime. We haven't quite had lunch, although when I say it's almost lunchtime, it's probably after 1 p.m. The girls, Jess and Melissa, are coming round to empty my precious metal shed. The last of the really good value scrap that I have. I just tallied up in here, and with all the copper pipe and #1 copper, and I've got some lacquered copper and all this, there's 10 kilograms per tub. Some of them have 20 in it. These tubs are actually copper themselves. They're hot water header tanks. I just added up, I've got about 430 kilos of copper in various grades, but I think they're still paying close to $10 a kilo, even for #2. It might have dropped a little bit, but certainly the #1 wire or Milbury is better than that. But that equates to around about $4,500 just in this little shed. So I've certainly got some good value scrap still to go. I don't mind filming it in here now because it's no longer going to be here within another couple of hours, and it'll be locked up securely at home. And I'll be doing some scrap runs as soon as all this chaos of moving is over. What better way to sign off from this video than in an echoey shed, another echo chamber. So things are going well. The girls did a great job. All this scrap has gone round home. This shed is right to go. I'm halfway through the other one, but I'm going to sign off on this video because it's gone long enough. I'll probably start the next episode later this afternoon, but you'll see that Friday night. This one you will see, you'll see that Thursday night. This one you'll see tonight, which is Wednesday night. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're keeping up with it all. I am just. See you in the next video. Bye for now.